Welcome back to the Pool Podcast. Today we have a fabulous guest with us today. She's one of our newest business members, as well as someone who has been advocating and participating in our longevity events, as well as hosting them. We have Paula Benedi. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Liz.
I would love to know a little bit more about you. Can you tell us a little bit about who you are, where you come from, how you ended up in Marbella? And we'll start from there.
Yeah, for sure. So I was born and raised in Marbella, but I moved to London for my law degree. So I was actually trained as a lawyer, which is something that
Amazing.
most people don't know. But then during my law degree, I got very, very sick. So lots of severe skin issues. I had cystic acne on my face, eczema all over my body. I was chronically fatigued. My hair was falling. It was horrible.
All just came out.
Yeah, I would shower and I would literally have like balls out of my hair coming out. And I was taking a bunch of supplements. I was going to doctors for eczema. They were giving me steroids. For acne, they were giving me Accutane. For digestive issues, they were just like, oh, sorry, there's nothing we can do about it.
All superficial treatments.
All superficial treatments. I also had a lot of issues with my periods. I never had my periods.
Yeah.
I was a complete mess. And I consider myself healthy. But back then, what I thought was healthy, now looking back, it was not actually that healthy. I used to consume lots of dairy, so lots of yogurt and milk, lots of gluten. I used to have like brown toast with turkey slices and olive oil for breakfast. And I did not know that actually gluten was causing me a lot of issues and a lot of inflammation, that the turkey slices was just so processed.
But you've been eating dairy and gluten most of your life, right?
All my life.
Right.
But eventually it catches up with you, and that's what most people don't realize. But obviously back then I didn't know, and I took the medications, and I was just getting sicker and sicker every single day.
How long would you say this, from the moment you started to get all of these side effects till the healing process that the doctors recommend? How long was this whole period?
So I would say I started to get very, very sick when I was in my second year of my law degree, and it took me around 2 years to figure it out. But my doctors did not get me there though. It was just by chance. I remember I was listening to a podcast because I was in so much pain, because as a young woman, I could cover up my acne slightly with makeup, but my eczema, I couldn't cover it up. So I remember I would go to, take my exams, and I had eczema all over my hands.
Couldn't
and
hold a pen.
I couldn't hold a pen.
You can't, with eczema, you can't bend.
It was horrible.
Your clothes will
Yeah,
stick to you if you have
literally.
any cuts. Like, it's
That's what
debilitating.
people don't understand. Like, I had cuts and I would bleed. It was horrible. And I was so self-conscious about it because I was so embarrassed about my skin. And I remember students came to me and they would ask me lots of questions like, what do you have on your hands? And
Yeah.
it was just horrible. And so it was this pain that really just forced me to look for answers. And I was listening to a podcast, and it was just by chance that I stumbled across functional medicine and natural health. And then I started hearing about how your gut health can actually be linked to your skin. And, there's this whole other world that, what you eat affects what you look like and how you feel. And I was like, oh my God. So slowly I started to put the pieces together. And after I graduated from law school, I realized that I didn't want to continue down that path. So I did a complete 180. And then I studied integrative medicine, functional medicine, and then I became a certified nutritionist. And then I started working with clients. But back then, because I was a beginner, I didn't charge. So I would literally go on Instagram because I healed myself. My skin
You just wanted to share it with
I
everybody.
literally just wanted to share it with everyone. So I would go on Instagram and I would look for the hashtag eczema.
Yeah.
And then there were so many people suffering with eczema, and I would DM them. And my message was always like, hey, I was there. I healed myself. Can you help me help you? And some people wouldn't reply. They would be like, who are you? You're crazy.
Because it's a scam.
Yeah.
Of course.
But other people were like, oh, they were curious about it.
Yeah.
And then I started like that, and I would literally just have consultations online with clients completely free. I wouldn't charge them anything. And I was seeing how they were just completely transforming their skin and their health in general. And so after that, that is when I realized that, like, oh my God, I think I can make a living out of this. I think I don't have to become a lawyer. I can actually create this health and wellness brand and start working with people. And so first it was private practice only.
Mm-hmm.
And then after working with thousands of patients, then I launched a supplement line and then the podcast. And then now it has become this, it's obviously a small business, but I am just so passionate about it. We have a small team and it's just crazy when people ask me because my my original idea was never to create a business out of it. It was literally
But
out
I
of
think if it's powered by personal experience and the passion for it and the drive, I think it's one of the few pleasures in life to be able to make a living off what you love and
100%.
what you believe in, more importantly. And I think this is where we come to talk about a little bit how Synergized became to be, right?
Yeah, so Synergized became a byproduct of that, and it's for me the most fulfilling thing about Synergized is that sure we have all of our products and they are exceptional products. They are very different. I really don't like when people compare our supplements to other supplements,
Mm.
and that's because our supplements are formulated for practitioners. So it's very high therapeutic dosages with very bioavailable ingredients that your body actually absorbs it. So it's very different to walking into any supplement store and getting any supplement out of a shelf because those supplements they have very low therapeutic dosages, and because obviously most supplement companies they take advantage of the fact that consumers lack the knowledge,
Yeah.
so they just want to like tick the boxes.
Right. To be able to put it on the packaging but not tell you how much of the dose is in there.
Exactly.
Right.
And so us at Synergize, we are not just another supplement brand. We are truly a one-stop shop for all of your health solutions because aside from the supplements, we do health coaching. We offer a lot of at-home lab testing, which we can talk a little bit about as well. And then obviously we have the podcast as well. And it's just a lot of things. So it's truly a very integrative approach,
Mm-hmm.
if you
That
will.
covers all aspects of it, right?
Yes,
So
and a big part of what we do is educating people. I do feel like most people that buy our product are extremely health conscious people. And that's because, for example, if we take the green spouter that we have, it's probably around 3 to 4 times more expensive than the average greens powder. So why would someone buy the premium product and not the average greens powder?
mm-hmm.
Because they know they can read a label and they understand
Mm-hmm.
why this greens powder is more expensive, and they know they're going to get results from this, but not this. Whereas most people they would go for the cheapest one. So also, so I'm always trying to educate people around it. So most of our community and our customers they are extremely health conscious individuals.
Yeah. I mean, you talk a lot about root cause healing. Um, your products, your education, your spreading the awareness of it. How would you say that plays a big or a small or the main role in what you do and Synergized?
Yeah. So when it comes to functional medicine really is a field of medicine that is about asking why the symptom is there. So, for example, let's say you walk in with, let's use the example of eczema or any sort of skin rashes, dermatitis, psoriasis, rosacea, whatever it may be.
Mm-hmm.
Your doctor will give you a label and then they will prescribe you a medication. Now, what we do is we know that your skin is not lacking a medication.
Mm-hmm.
Your skin is lacking health. So there's something going on inside your body that is causing this skin reaction, this skin inflammation.
Mm-hmm.
So what do? We run at-home lab testing. So we have a wide range of labs, and we have from gut health testing. So we have a comprehensive stool test that looks into your microbiome. We know that the gut and the skin are very, very connected.
Mm-hmm.
If your gut is inflamed and there's an imbalance in the microbiome, it can for sure cause inflammation in the skin and a lot of autoimmune conditions. We have very in-depth hormonal panels that go way beyond the average blood work that your doctor may run with you. We have very comprehensive toxin testing as well. So we are being exposed to so many toxins nowadays from the perfume that we apply, from all the cosmetics and
Shampoos.
household
Yeah.
cleaning products.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you're drinking from plastic bottled water, if you're buying your vegetables in plastic containers, if
Yeah.
you're using cling film at home, if you're using even foil, frankly, because of the heavy metals. And we see heavy metals elevated a lot of the time, and it's a
Mm-hmm.
very simple hair test. So all of these things are root causes that your doctor will never tell you,
Of course.
but they start to build up in your body.
Mm-hmm.
And so this causes inflammation in your body, and then you will have the symptom that you are genetically predisposed to. So let's say that you have eczema in your genes,
Mm-hmm.
then you will show the eczema. Maybe somebody else have rheumatoid arthritis in their genes. They will express it as joint pain. So I always say that genetics, they load the gun, but it's the environment that pulls the
100%.
trigger. And so for us, people ask me, oh, what's the protocol for eczema? Or what's the protocol for migraines? Or what's the protocol for infertility? What's the protocol for low testosterone? There's no one protocol. It depends what's going on in your
Your
body.
lifestyle as well.
Yeah, and your lifestyle. So this is why we take a one-to-one personalized approach, and we run all of these lab tests to see what are the biomarkers like. Then we ask you lots of questions. Where do you work? Because sometimes you work with patients that are being exposed as part of their daily life to lots of toxins. They work in constructions, for example. They work in factories. So it's a very individualized approach. And that's why I tell people you can have the same symptom, but various different root causes.
Mm-hmm. So a lot of doctors, and I think actually some documentaries I've watched in the past, they always, well, maybe not necessarily doctors, probably better to say functional medicine experts. They've talked about how when things come out into your skin, it's the last stage because it starts to fester and infiltrate yourself from the inside out. So when it comes out, that's when it's kind of your body's screaming at you to do something,
Your
right?
body is literally communicating with you at all times. The problem is that most people, they just shut it down. You have fever, take medication to bring the fever down, when in reality we have fever. Why? Because we need to raise our temperature to fight off those germs. Oh, you have eczema, let's put it steroids. Oh, you have an autoimmune condition, let's give you some immune suppressants. And I have seen the consequences of that, especially with my patients. I'm working with a child right now. He's 8 years old, and he had a very severe condition of IBD.
Hmm.
And his doctor put him on immune suppressants, and now we ran some lab work. His entire body is just messed up because when you are you're literally shutting down your immune system. You're
And he's
going to
growing
be
as well.
exactly
It's
you're
not a
going to be
stage.
exposed to all sorts of bacteria. So we did a stool test with him. He was even able to catch salmonella. Your body should be able to fight off salmonella because you should have a strong immune system to fight off salmonella. He had salmonella. He had 3 different types of parasites in his body. He had all sorts of candida. And why is that? Because of so many years on immune suppressants, and now we are seeing the consequences
Consequence
of
of
that.
that.
And his parents were just telling me how, wow, like, the doctor never told us this. So it's also the lack of communication as well that happens between doctors to patients is very problematic. And hence my job, it is my responsibility to show up every single day and really do as many talks as possible, do as many podcasts as possible, really share this knowledge and share case studies because I want to be able to bring this awareness because people deserve it. It's your own body, it's your own health. You should not be at the mercy of your doctor.
I mean, without going down the conspiracy route, most doctors, most hospitals, they work very much hand in hand with big pharma, and they are the ones who need to make the money. They are essentially ones full circle that pay the doctor's salary. So maybe the doctors might not necessarily agree with it, but that's what their job is entitling and require them to do. You know, like okay, this person's suffering eczema, like they say, topical steroids. Do they talk to you about what happens when you start to withdraw from steroids? Do they tell you how bad whole whole process goes? It's worse than rehabilitation for drugs. I mean, it is a drug
It
in
is.
in itself, and they don't talk to you about when you start to wean off it, how you should do it. So most people go from one day taking it to one day stopping, and all of a sudden everything starts going wrong.
Yeah.
You know?
And it's not just that, it's also the fact that that's how they are trained.
Yeah.
So a lot of medical degrees are funded by, big pharma. So if you ask them, how much do you know about nutrition? They probably did like a lecture on nutrition.
Module, one course.
Exactly. But most of the content that they study, like most of the materials are based on pharmacology
Mm-hmm.
and on how to link one medication with a symptom. So unfortunately, it's not that they're trying to cause you any harm. They truly they obviously they are.
Learn.
It's what they learn, so they're just literally giving you what they know.
Mm-hmm.
That's the problem. And then we have social media, and I have come across this many times where Facebook or Instagram reaches out to us telling us that a piece of content is not allowed when we're just simply trying to bring awareness to natural
I
health.
think, again, there's a lot more factors into play with people who are trying to bring awareness to things that are damaging to things like big pharma or
Exactly.
companies that make a lot of money and probably support these platforms to benefit them in that sense with the terms of advertising and putting out content there. I mean, even if, let's say, you decided to pay for paid advertising for your company, what's to stop the terms and conditions being violated all of a sudden because you're putting out false information, right?
So many times we've had our ads not being approved.
Oh,
So many
so
times,
convenient.
right?
I mean, again, it's an uphill battle that it seems to be that you're fighting. And more power to you. A lot of people in the world should have a Paula Benedi in their lives, striving and advocating for good health
Thank you.
and proper health, starting from the gut outwards. I want you to talk to me a little bit more about, how Synergized and your own journey and your own, let's say, uh, group of clients and patients that you're working with right now. How is that looking for you? How do you kind of spend your week to week, day to day? How do you manage your time and manage to still
Mm.
come and join us on a podcast on a random Thursday?
Yeah, I mean, I think I go through phases. So I certainly don't have weekends, so I'll start there. But I am very conscious of taking some time for myself and connect back to myself. And I like to say that I am spiritual. And so for me, spirituality and everything that's connecting to the higher power and just meditation and breath work, all of that really grounds me and fills my cup. Because if my cup is not full, I cannot give to anyone.
Of course.
And, if you think about it, I have my patients. That is not just the consultation itself, but it's once I have a client signing up,
Mm-hmm.
it's it's truly many weeks of
Yeah.
back and forth, back and forth.
It's not like a
It's an
couple of
ongoing. No,
days.
no, no.
Yeah, no.
It's truly an ongoing process. So there's a lot of messages, emails back and forth, and I have my team that's always asking for my time. Bless them, they are an amazing team, but so a lot of demand there. And then there's obviously my own podcast, and we have an app as well, and I do a lot of content for the wellness app. So it is very intense because then I'm also very strict with my own health habits. So I need to make sure that I'm working out at least 4 times a week, ideally 5. I want to get my 10,000 steps in every single day. I want to get 8 hours of sleep every night. So it gets tricky,
But you're able to manage it. And I think that's what a lot of, not just manage it, let me rephrase. You're able to dedicate your discipline into managing it.
I think I'm just extremely disciplined, and I know how to manage my time very well.
That's very good.
Yeah.
I think maybe you should also release something on that so a lot of people can
Yeah.
take some
But
tips
because
there.
I'm very, everything is scheduled in my calendar.
Mm-hmm.
So I think most people, and when I show people, my calendar, like, oh my God, this is so boring. Like your life is literally scheduled 30 minutes at a time. And I'm like, actually scheduling my time gives me a lot of freedom because then I don't have to think about it.
Mm-hmm.
So I have the time that I'm going to wake up, that I'm going to go for a walk, that I'm going to go on calls, that I'm going to go work out. Everything is scheduled. So I don't have to think about it. Even my meals are scheduled. So I know what I'm going to have for dinner on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So everything. I literally take the thinking out of it. And that gives you so much time back.
I can imagine.
Mm.
So what would you say is your goal? Not just for your company and for your businesses and for your patients, but your goals for the next, let's say, 5 years. What are you hoping to be able to do? I mean, obviously you are running this place, captain of the ship and manning the deck and doing everything, as well as having your team there as well, I'm sure. But you're still, I would say, doing the majority of it.
Mm.
What would be your goal ideally for the next 5 years?
I think, first of all, I think if we have this conversation in a month's time, I might give you a different answer because I'm constantly like
Adapting.
yeah,
Yeah.
adapting, and my goals keep changing as I
Mhm.
grow and as I learn more. But I would say if right now, I certainly want to expand Synergize. So most of our practices in the UK,
Mhm.
I do want to make sure that we are changing more lives all around the world. So
More international.
more international for sure. I want to expand our product line significantly. I'm very, very passionate about product development and creating very high quality supplements.
Mhm.
I for sure want to grow the team because the bigger the team, the better the talent, then again, the better the results that we're going to have in general.
Mhm.
But my dream has always been opening a physical clinic, and that is actually coming to fruition, hopefully by the end of this year. So I'm super, super excited about that. Personally, I think synergized and health and wellness is going to be just a part of me. There's multiple parts to me. There is this spirituality part that is massive. So every year I travel to Bali by myself, and I just truly go all in, and that gives me a lot of purpose and
Completely detox from everything.
full on detox.
Disconnect.
Yes, I like to do a lot of spiritual retreats as well, and I like to do them solo. I do like to spend a lot of time by myself to reflect and just come back to me. And I also want to become a very extremely successful female entrepreneur and be the example to younger females, and hopefully being able to mentor them once I get there. Frankly, even now, even though I have not, there's so much that I want to achieve, but it's really interesting because just the past month I've done a lot of events in London. So we've done 3 events in London, and a lot of young women come to me and they say, wow, and they look at the brand and all the products and the fact that I have a podcast and I have an app and all of this, and they're like, wow, they should do all of this. And for me, I just forget about it. As when you're so ambitious and so driven, you just like achieve one thing and then you move on to the next thing and then the next thing and the next thing. And I never pause to kind of like, oh my God, like, think about it, like, wow, yeah,
You built this.
I've
You did
built this.
this.
Like, this is
Yeah.
so cool. And they just come to me and they say, wow, like, this is so, inspirational. Like, how did you do it? And I want more of that. And I want to be able to be the example for
I
a
mean,
lot of
the
female.
more that you do these events and the more that you create podcast content, products for things that you are super passionate about
Mm.
and super not just knowledgeable, but you're doing it from your own experience, it's the authenticity comes through. And I think there's a lot of people doing health, there's a lot of people doing wellness, and I can't speak for what's happening in London, but here in Marbella, there's a lot of people that hide behind this. I'm healthy and holistic and all
Yeah.
this. And I'm like, really? I don't want to call you out, but and I'm not going to, but I think seeing someone and meeting someone like you, that you walk into a room and you bring this very radiant energy.
Oh,
And
thank
like
you
you're
so
very
much.
soft spoken, but you have a very big energy about you. And you can tell.
That
I,
means
I
a lot.
always say
Thank
to
you.
I always say to Christian, every time you come in, I'm like, it's like you get this like fairy angel vibes when you come in. You just like float in and you have this really nice energy about you and you're always so pleasant to speak with. And again, I think you being the kind of person that you are with your own experiences, it just shows in your business and the way that you handle yourself and the way that you present yourself. It's authentic. And
Thank you so very much. I really appreciate that. And I do work very hard to be extremely authentic.
mhm,
And even things like I have been offered very big jobs. For example, I was recently offered to go on a reality TV show that I'm not going to say the name,
mhm.
but one of the biggest reality TV shows in the UK. And if you think about it, most people would have died to get that,
It will push them in their
because
influence and their followers,
absolutely,
brand deals, but it's not aligning with what you do.
it was not aligned with what I do
Mm.
and my brand. So I decided to turn it down, and this happens all the time. And also I think I'm so open and so transparent with my own community, I'm very open on the podcast and I tell them everything. And if they ask me questions, I will tell them always.
Yeah.
And I think people really love that.
Yeah.
They find it so refreshing and so, oh my
100%.
God, you're so honest.
I think a lot of people, especially on social media, you know, they curate this perfect life and their highlight reels of their lives. And I think it's just nice sometimes to meet people, not just who are able to put that on a podcast or on a reel or on a video, but in person, that are just the good, the bad, and the ugly. This is me, you know, and this is the happy days, the bad days, the struggle days, the days I don't want to get out of bed, the days that haven't stopped and seen a bed for a day and a half, you know, things like this. I think it speaks to a lot of people, not necessarily just women. It could be people of all ages, both men and women. And I think if you just keep sharing your journey, your progress, and the struggles, more importantly, I think a lot of people don't talk enough about the struggles of running your own business, of managing 100 million things in one day. And I think when you're able to do that and share it in a very authentic way, I think it makes people feel better that, okay, like this is this kick-ass woman doing her thing and she has days of burnout and stress.
And it's okay.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that. I have days that I am so depressed and I feel so low.
Yeah.
You know, and because I try to always bring a very high frequency energy to everywhere that I go. And when
That
I'm
takes
speaking
up a lot of energy though, right?
And I speak to, but that's why I always try to retreat when I can and go
Recharge.
to recharge, because it's very, very important. And don't get me wrong, like sometimes I really go all on my team, you know, but then I apologize. I'm like, listen, I'm so sorry, you know, I was just feeling that way because X, Y, and Z, and they understand it.
I mean, hey, you're taking accountability. So
Exactly. It's okay to react as long as then you realize and then you take accountability for it. But it's also okay to not feel great all the time. We're humans. We're not supposed to be super joyful and happy all the time, because if you are, then if you don't experience the sadness or the low times, then you don't appreciate. Exactly.
There's got to be that balance.
Law of like polarity, you know? So I think that's something really important as well to make people aware of.
Going to you wanting to inspire not just women, but the youth of today, what kind of advice, what would you say are maybe your top 2 or top 3 points of advice that you'd like to give anyone who is looking to venture out to maybe run their own business or start their own business, regardless of what it is? What kind of advice would you like to give them?
I think the first thing I would say is think about it very carefully, because entrepreneurship is, it can, most people think it's this very glamorous thing, and I don't think it's glamorous at all.
Everyone.
It's not for everyone. It's extremely hard. You know,
Sacrifice a lot.
you have to sacrifice a lot, and sometimes it's just better to work for a really an amazing company that aligns with your values. So think about it very carefully first. Now, if you truly feel like, yes, you do want to create this for yourself, I think it's very important to, for sure, work extremely hard and not allow any drawbacks to kind of like bring you down. Because when I was formulating my products, I remember the first 2 years, I think, the first product launch that we had, which is the Daily Essential Formula, the most loved product that we have. And I spoke to so many manufacturers, and a lot of men would not take me seriously. They would see this young woman, or they would say something like, oh, sorry, we don't work with companies like yours, like so small, and I could have easily given up, but I didn't. And eventually I launched it and it was a success. So I think don't let anyone bring you down, and just fight for it, and just have this tenacity. And if you work hard, and and I think a very important factor as well is not only working hard, but you should truly believe in your subconscious mind that you can achieve it. Because you can work extremely hard, but if subconsciously and internally you actually think that that's not possible for you, it will never happen. So you need to truly do a lot of the internal work as well.
Honestly, I think you and I could talk for hours. There's so many aspects of this talk that I think I would love to delve in deeper, and I think we'll just have to invite you for another one next time, and as well see how the progress is going with you. So I just want to thank you for sharing your experience, sharing your advice, giving us your time and bringing this energy to our podcast. So thank you so much for being here. I'm also very proud that you're one of our members as well at the pool. So more importantly, I do wish you all the best for what you're doing. It's amazing that you're helping so many people with these problems that have always been overlooked and superficial band-aids have been slapped on top of them. So I can't wait to see what you're doing next. And please do continue sharing it with us. So we would love to support you in the ways that we can.
Thank you so much. It means a lot to me.